It's been a busy couple of days for Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll, and that continues. They cut down their roster to 53 players. They made 2 waiver wire additions, and they just cut 2 more players. They've also signed 13 players to the practice squad. So a lot of roster shuffling is going on, and that's why you subscribe to the channel. Because when the Giants make a move, we make a video. We are almost at our goal of 81,000 subscribers. If you love the Giants and you want free videos every day on Big Blue, hit that big red sub button right now. You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. We'll talk about the practice squad coming up in a little bit, but we got to talk about some roster manipulation that Joe Schoen is doing right now. They cut their roster from 90 to 53 yesterday, and they continue to do so today. The first cut they made today was a big one. Gunnar Olszewski, the return specialist that can play slot receiver. He made the initial 53-man roster, but now he finds himself on the outside looking in. The Giants signed 2 defensive backs earlier today, meaning they had to cut 2 players, which we told you, and Gunnar Olszewski is one of those guys. I'll say this. This is not the end of the road for Gunnar Olszewski and the New York Giants. He may not be a part of this wide receiver depth chart right now, but I still have a very strong feeling that he is going to be there come week 1 against the Washington Commanders, and he will be your punt and kick returner. The Giants are also cutting, at this point, the rookie DB out of Oklahoma State, Korie Black, the 7th-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The New York Giants, they kept 7 corners on the roster yesterday. They added 1 today, and now they are moving on from Korie Black. Like Gunnar Olszewski, this is not the end of the road. This is just roster manipulation by the New York Giants. So we saw them go out and sign Rico Payton earlier today from the New Orleans Saints. They still have Nick Jones, Art Green, Paulson Adebo, Drew Phillips, Cordell Flott, and Deonte Banks. So you have still 7 guys at this position group. You also have a player on the practice squad and TJ Moore on IR. What do I mean by roster manipulation? Here we go. Dan Duggan of The Athletic explaining it, saying the Giants cut wide receiver Gunnar Olszewski and cornerback Korie Black to make room for the 2 waiver claims. Expect Olszewski back on the 53 when the dust settles as they perform some roster gymnastics, while Black is likely headed to the practice squad, assuming he clears waivers. Olszewski is a vested veteran, meaning I think he's done more than 4 years in the NFL, so he is not subject to waivers. He just becomes a free agent. He can go sign wherever he wants, and I'm sure there's been communication with the Giants and Gunnar that, hey, we're going to cut you here. You're still a part of the team. You're still part of the long-term vision. Just work with us. Kind of like the Giants did last year with Jakob Johnson, the fullback. He got snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snapped 1,000 times. Gunnar Olszewski, he might be that guy. This year, Korie Black, though, he's going to end up back on the practice squad. But make sure you are subscribed, because if we add Gunnar, we bring back Korie Black. There are more additions to this team, trades, anything. We're going to get you guys a video. We put out 2 videos every single day on Big Blue, so join the team. Hit that sub button. A player that is not going to return to the Giants practice squad is standout preseason tight end Greg Dulcich. He is joining the Miami Dolphins practice squad. I had heard the New York Giants and Dulcich were very close to coming to an agreement for him to return to the P squad for the New York Giants. But then the Miami Dolphins came in with, I'm not sure if it was more money, another better opportunity, or maybe he was just upset the New York Giants kept 4 tight ends over him, but he elects to leave the Giants and go live in the 305. And I don't really blame him for that one. Look, if I was a player that got cut by the Giants, I don't know if I would want to be back on their practice squad. Because you got Theo, you got Daniel Bellinger, you got Manhertz, and they chose Thomas Fidone over Dulcich, who had 3 touchdowns in the preseason. I said it time and time again. Dulcich earned a roster spot to be on this team. The dice didn't shake his way, but he now finds himself on the practice squad for the Dolphins, and I'm sure he'll get some game reps because Darren Waller is always injured. We're going to talk about the practice squad as well. The New York Giants, they have made a lot of additions to the practice squad, and none of the players the Giants cut yesterday, outside of Tommy DeVito, were claimed by other teams, which means they could all return to the Giants practice squad. They've signed 13 players to this P squad. There's 17 spots in total. So they could still sign 4 more. And I would assume Korie Black is one of those guys. And I wouldn't be shocked if by the time I'm done filming this video, that does happen. I'll say this. I am pretty pumped that Dante Turbo Miller is back to the practice squad. A guy that I thought should have made the roster. A guy that brings a skill set to the New York Giants that they don't have at the running back spot. Is his vision awesome? Maybe not. His burst is. His ability to eat up green grass is. The way he can affect winning in the receiving game is not replicated by anyone on this team. I am excited to see Cam Scadaboo as a receiver on this team out of the backfield, but Dante Turbo Miller just brought something that nobody else really had. So Miller, he's on the practice squad. The Giants can elevate him 4 times for 4 game days before they have to make him a part of the official active 53. So you got Tracy, Singletary, Scadaboo, Dante Miller on the practice squad, and Eric Gray still on that physically unable to perform list. Lil'Jordan Humphrey, after catching the first touchdown pass from Jackson Dart, he finds himself on the Giants practice squad as well. So good for him. And Ihmir Smith-Marsette, one of the bigger shot cuts of the day yesterday, he is back on the practice squad as well. He had a tweet out there saying, "When I've been given the opportunity to play receiver, I've performed." And look, I love the confidence. I've watched the tape, though. There needs to be some improvement from an NFL receiving stand base. He could be a hell of a kick returner and punt returner. We have seen that. And maybe the Giants will elevate him in the future, especially if Gunnar Olszewski gets hurt. But it's Neighbors, Robinson, Slayton, Collins, and Hyatt. Just 5 wide receivers. The Giants are not going to go into Washington in week 1 with 5 guys. I am assuming that Gunnar Olszewski will be a part of that. Maybe Gunnar goes to the practice squad and they use some elevations early on him in the season. And then once he's used all 4, they make a decision of, do we keep him or do we go to Ihmir Smith-Marsette and use his game day elevations? 2 offensive linemen for the New York Giants are heading to the practice squad as they have cleared waivers. That is Jake Kubas and Brian Hudson, both being interior offensive linemen. Both of them had good summers, but Kubas didn't really end on the highest note. So 10 active roster members at the O-line spot: Thomas, Runyon, Schmitz Jr., GVR, Illuminor, James Hudson III, Aaron Stinney, Austin Schlottman, Evan Neal, and Marcus Bowe. Kubas, he's on the practice squad, as well as B. Hudson, and Josh Azudu is going to find himself on IR. He is eligible to return after the first 4 weeks. So we'll see that happen then, and then the Giants will have to make a decision of, do they want to roll with Josh Azudu or Aaron Stinney? So TBD on that front. We got to talk about a couple more players making the practice squad, but with the NFL season here, PrizePicks is back as a sponsor here on New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and they are coming back with a awesome promo code. When you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and you use that promo code CLNS, play your first $5 lineup, they're going to get you $50 in lineups for free. It's the #1 fantasy sports app in the game. You can win big, up to 2,000 times your money. It's super easy. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and you simply pick more or less on the projected stat line that PrizePicks selects for each player. It takes less than seconds. And the withdrawals, they are fast and secure. Pick more, pick less. Play PrizePicks. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS. Play $5, get $50 instantly. I also love how PrizePicks pretty much gives you winners. Like Dak Prescott throwing for more than half of passing yards. I'm including that in my week 1 lineup. I got Malik Neighbors touching the paint against the Commanders. Give me the more on half a touchdown. They're calling that a demon. Demon meaning it's harder to be correct on it, but the payouts are higher, and that's what we want. No risk it, no biscuit. Is that how you say it? Love that. And Daniel Jones. This might be more of a lock than this one. Give me the less on passing yards. If I am correct on all 3 of these picks, I'm going to 7x my money. So roll with me, fade with me. Just play at PrizePicks. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. PrizePicks, run your game. All righty. Hopefully this Giants defensive line is not going to get their game run on. On the practice squad, Jordan Riley will be there and Elijah Garcia. Hadn't heard a lot about Jordan Riley this year. I was a fan of his. I think it was 2 years ago in the regular season. I thought he had a pretty dang good rookie year. Elijah Garcia had some love inside the building for what he did on the football field this summer, and credit to them. They now are a part of the Giants practice squad going into the future. On the defensive tackle room for the Giants now, Dexter Lawrence Roy Robertson-Harris, Rakeem Nunez-Roches, DJ Davidson, and Darius Alexander. So just 5 big guys in the middle. I think that they might be set at this position group. I will say I am pretty damn happy that Trace Ford is coming back to the Giants on the practice squad. Probably my favorite UDFA alongside Bo Collins on this Giants team right now. Had a hell of a preseason. I think it was 7 pressures and 6 tackles in 3 games. And Tom and Fox, who has been on and off the New York Giants practice squad, he finds himself there again. 4 players for the Giants on their depth chart right now at the pass rusher spot. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, and Chauncey Golston. The Giants listed Chauncey Golston as a defensive lineman. I'm listing him as an edge rusher. You could see him slide in on some obvious passing downs to play on the interior. He bounced around everywhere on the D-line for the Cowboys over the past couple of years. I'm pretty excited to see him play some football. D. Williams, the cornerback and kick returner for the New York Giants. Once a receiver in college, just a playmaker, more of a kick returner than anything. Played 3 games for the Giants in the preseason. He is back on the practice squad as well. So we'll flash that depth chart again. Paulson Adebo, Drew Phillips, Cordell Flott. Keep on wanting to say Cordell Banks. Maybe if you combine them both, it could be a damn good cornerback too. Cordell Flott, Deontay Banks, Art Green still holding it down. Shout out to him. Nick Jones, Asumaro Jones, Rico Payton, and TJ Moore as well. Raheem Lane, the veteran safety who spent some time with the New York Giants last year, he is returning to the practice squad. So to my knowledge at this point, the Giants have not added anybody to the practice squad that was on somebody else's preseason squad at this point. Could still be coming. As we talked about, there were 4 spots still available. I'm assuming Korie Black gets one of them, which means 3 spots for somebody else, and the Giants will try to fill those up ASAP. But Holland, Newman, Belton, and Brady, I'm still working on that new addition from the Ravens, special teamer, joining that safe dream. So 4 guys there and 1 guy on the P squad. Jude McAdamy, the Giants International Player Pathway Program kicker. What does that mean? It means it doesn't count against your practice squad. You get 17 spots, or maybe it's 16, and since one of them is an International Player Pathway Program, he counts as the 17th. It doesn't count against it. But I like having a kicker on the practice squad that you trust. He was 11 of 11 on extra points in the preseason and 2 of 2 on field goal attempts. So if Graham Gano can't get it, you got to go. We got Jude McAdamy right there. There it is. 13 practice squad additions, 2 more cuts, and Greg Dulcich to the Miami Dolphins. Make sure you are following me on social media, and let's go Big Blue.